Hello and welcome, cats and kittens. My name is Alonda Carter and I am the recovering Hunbot. I create anti-MLM videos and also I am dipping my toes into true crime. And if you think about it, isn't multi-level marketing criminal? Now, during what's going on in the world right now, one of the things I've been keeping my little eye on is marketing. For some reason, I'm like fascinated by marketing during this time because how do you keep, your brand in the forefront of people's minds and stuff? Because honestly, people aren't too concerned with anything unless it's essential. Now, to me, an ad by Domino's talking about how they will do contactless delivery makes sense. What doesn't make sense is when I get some kind of long marketing email that's about joining someone's mastermind. And yes, that literally happened. I have no idea when I joined this person's list or anything like that. I can only think it was back in my Beachbody Hunbot days. And so I just quickly unsubscribed because, nobody needs that. Now, I do keep emails from Ray Higdon and Mark Lalonde, not because I want to do anything with them. It's more just out of, I guess, morbid curiosity. And I look at their subject lines and how they're using what's going on right now in the world, to their advantage, so to speak. And honestly, it makes me just kind of vomit a little in my mouth. It's just really kind of just gross. But I just keep it because I'm curious. And what really bothers me is, how do you feel right about doing that right now? How are you okay with it? I mean, I just mind blown. And right now, so many people have lost their jobs and continue to lose jobs. Right now in Houston, that's where I'm at, in case you didn't know, the company Halliburton, which is oil and gas, they've laid off twice since all this stuff started going down. I mean, my husband's not working right now. So many people are filing for unemployment. I mean, the systems are overloaded and people are just desperate. Right now, I can't remember what it is, but the Houston Food Bank teamed up with, I think, Good Morning America, and there's some kind of event that's going on to, basically replenish the food banks and stuff, which is fabulous. But there's so many people that are relying on things like the food bank that they haven't before, but it's because of the amount of jobs that have lost and just everything that's going on. I mean, people just are feeling very desperate or feeling very out of sorts. I mean, I don't think there's ever been a time when people have been under this amount of stress. And with the amount of stress people are under, I guess, multi-level marketing companies, because they like to kind of pounce on you when you're vulnerable. Well, I mean, hello, the world is very, very, very vulnerable, if I can talk right now. I mean, come on, when could it be even, more crazy than it is right now? I mean, things just keep changing daily. Yesterday, I had a meeting with the company I work for, and I do work from home. And no, it is not MLM. But I mean, there were things that were announced that they've just been ixnayed, like the annual increase that you get in your salary, ixnayed. 401k matching, ixnayed. Quarterly bonuses, ixnayed. I mean, just so many things. And I get it. And I'm thankful that I still have a job. I mean, I am. But it's kind of at the same time, because, people just keep being impacted more and more and more from this. And Houston is going to be further impacted. I really think it's going to hit the oil industry hard. I mean, just see what the price of a gallon of gas is right now. I mean, it's at a low that we haven't seen in many, many, many years. And having lived here, most all of my life, when there's a downturn in oil and gas, it's really hard on the city. And we are the fourth largest city in the States, so that is impactful. Now, the thing is that people, at least this is my opinion, maybe yours is different. I think all people are really thinking about are things that are essential, just like there's essential workers and stuff like that. There's now essential things that you need to have. And there's a lot of things that people are going without. If you saw my toenails right now, you'd probably run away. I don't know about yours, but mine are pretty scary. So there's just a lot of things that we just aren't doing because one, businesses aren't open. Two, finances, you don't have it. There's just a lot that people are just saying no to or waiting on because of the situation. Now, what my thought is that MLMs like Beachbody that have products that can be considered as, like meal replacements, like Shakeology, which I mean, when I drank it, it was never something I found totally satisfying. Like, oh, yeah, don't need to eat anything. I can just drink this shake and I'm good. I mean, but they want you to say that, and I did. Ugh. Well, anyway, somehow this business opportunity call with Beachbody during all this craziness kind of like came into my bubble. And myself, I've really been trying to avoid what Huns are doing right now. And I think it's because I just look at it and I think, oh my gosh, if I was still like in Hunbot mode, if I was still believing in the dream that MLM just, gets you to believe in because you're indoctrinated and there's thought reform and all of that. Oh, I mean, I just kind of shudder at the thought of the messages I'd be sending, the kind of posts I'd be doing. I mean, just all the janky behavior. So I think for me, it is just, sorry, computer ding. Anyway, I just think it just is a reminder to me of the behavior that I did, now knowing how awful it is. But at the time when I was doing it, I had no clue. And it just hits really close to home. Does that make sense? But I thought you might find it interesting if I looked at this call. Now, it's not going to be the whole thing because it's really, 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 really long. But we're going to look at snippets of it. I got to learn to talk. And, think about the language, what's being said, how it's being said, the words that are being used. Because when you start really analyzing it, the people who are providing the opportunity call, who are successful at Beachbody, you can really see how they've been transformed. Because the problem is always with the company. It's not the Huns. The Huns are the symptom. Even the ones at the tippy top, they're the symptom of the overall issue. The overall scam is multi-level marketing, the kinds of companies themselves, and not the Huns. They're just, they have bought into what was sold to them, the dream, and they're trying to make that happen no matter what level they're at. And they believe full on what they're saying. And so that's what I'm going to be taking a look at. So now, strap in and let's go check out this opportunity call. I forgot. I wanted to share this with you. Oh my goodness. So yeah, this came into my bubble too. Now, these are all people who are on the same larger team within Beachbody. And as you can see, there's a nice little message here. But does this serve to attract people? If you see this on Instagram or anywhere else, let me know, because really it's more of a way to get people to be more, quote, like-minded. It's really further indoctrinating the people that are all holding up the signs. It's not going to do something be like, oh, I want to be a part of that. But that's what they're thinking, is that people are going to see this and they're going to want to be included so that they can have friends like this too. All right, now on with that call. And one more thing, the audio for this opportunity call, it has a lot to be desired, I think. So if it sounds a little bit off, it's a little bit tinny, it's probably because of the person's microphone or the room that they're in. And there's really just not much I can do about that. So just bear with it, and I will be giving my commentary and reactions to it as we go.
To be able to share our experiences with it, to share some commonly asked questions and concerns that people have, to be able to help you make a well-informed decision, because that's what I am all about. The four of us that are going to be sharing today, we actually come from completely different scenarios, and I chose them specifically because of that. Because I'm hoping what will happen is, as we share little tidbits of our stories, we're not going to go into the full thing, but little tidbits of our stories, that you'll see yourself in one of our stories, and maybe it will help you to see how this could potentially be a part of your life as well. So, to get started, quickly, just to let you know who I am, my name is, and I've been a coach for almost 10 years. 10 years ago, I was in the very different situation than I am today. In fact, I've been saying all week this week that it felt so strange. I had a lot of flashbacks to 10 years ago with everything that's been going on in the world, and feeling like I remember exactly what I felt like with that elephant on my chest, and where it felt like the world as I knew it kind of got ripped out from underneath me. Although the circumstances seemed or were very different. I was pregnant with my very first baby about 11 years ago, and she was born premature with a severe brain bleeding. And it was something that I never would have expected. I was a healthy 24-year-old. I watched Baby Story, watched The Perfect Little Delivery, and all that. That did not happen for me. And with that, we spent months in the NICU, and along with months in the NICU comes very hefty medical bills, so much so that it was about $400,000 worth of medical bills. And at that exact same time in history happened to be the crash of the real estate market. And for those of you who are old enough, you might remember a lot of us got tangled in that. I was one of those people. So at 25, when I had a 1-year-old baby, I was about $500,000 worth of debt.
Okay, she's been a coach for 10 years. Within that time frame, she has undergone massive thought reform. I mean, she has to. She's been full on indoctrinated into this overall belief system that multi-level marketing is the ticket to freedom. You just got to be consistent and keep going. If she were to actually try to hold the belief in her head that this is harming people, she wouldn't be able to do that, because you can't hold conflicting beliefs. That's cognitive dissonance. Her story about the amount of debt that she was in, the fact that she was in a NIC unit, don't you know that is going to hit the hearts of some other young mothers? And also think about the millennials, about all the student loan debt that we've seen that they're under. Don't you think that's going to ring true to them? So they're going to see themselves within her story. And that's the whole point, is you want to have this social proof that someone who's just like you was able to rise up through the ranks of multi-level marketing.
A week before I realized that coaching existed, I had just quit my bartending job. I had always been in hospitality. It's the only thing I really knew from the time I was 15. I got my first hostessing job to the time I was 25 years old. 10 years of working was all in bartending, serving, hosting, all those kind of things. I just quit my job because the manager that I had there belittled us and disrespected us, and I had this little girl now, and for some reason, when I could brush it off before, I could no longer brush it off, and so I walked out.
Now, I've heard her story before, and in the past, it's always been, well, I was a bartender, but now she's slipping in that she was in the service industry, and she's kind of mentioning other things, which I find that very interesting, because I think it's very, very intentional. Think about what industry was immediately impacted when all of this went down. Hospitality, service. How many bartenders do you know and servers that you know? Or maybe you just went to restaurants and you knew them from there. How many people are now without a job? And so now, on a silver platter, look, there's this opportunity. And I was just like you. I was in that same industry, and look at me now.
P90X, for those of you who've been around, I've tried that. It was extremely hard, but I held myself accountable by sharing online and being able to publicly keep myself accountable. And even though I had nothing to gain, people were inspired by me starting my journey and began to start their journey as well. And I remember coaching them and giving them tips and things that had helped me. And those people were going and buying the program from Beachbody. And one day it hit me, I'm like, I'm just making that company a lot of money and not getting anything for it. And here we are, struggling. So I ended up calling the company to find out if they had a referral program, kind of an affiliate program, and then fell into this coaching thing.
Okay, right there. She mentions that she just called them up and asked them basically, do you have an affiliate link? So there's the implication that doing multi-level marketing is the same thing as affiliate marketing, which it's not. Now, in case you have not seen Monica Sambita's video on that, I'm going to put a link to it in the description, because she does a really great breakdown in terms of the difference. But throughout the rest of this call, there really is this kind of nudge to get people to think that just by sharing their love for the Beachbody stuff is the same thing as affiliate marketing.
I've been coaching 5 years now, and when I started, I was a 6-figure earning corporate engineer. I have undergraduate two undergraduate engineering degrees. I was completing my MBA, and I had these professional engineering certifications. Had the big fancy job. Like, I had what I thought I wanted. My goal with engineering was like, I wanted financial freedom.
So for those of you who are in the corporate world and you have the fancy job, or maybe you think that's what you want, well, you don't really need that, because here's an example of someone who had that and they let that go for multi-level marketing.
My coach, the person who invited me to this opportunity, I hadn't talked to her in like literally 2 decades. We did gymnastics together as kids. She invited me to join one of these accountability groups. Now, I was the girl who went to the gym all the time. I was a college athlete. I didn't think I needed it, but I wanted the community part. I knew I needed community part. And I started seeing someone who was not selling products, not being pushy, gross MLM, which is truthfully what I thought. I thought I was above all this. I thought, I'm this big fancy engineer. I'm not going to do an MLM big scam. But I started watching her, and she just shared her life, and she was happy, and she was leading a life with real financial freedom. It was time freedom. It was not worrying about income. It was not those like 2% raises I was getting every year as an engineer. And I wanted to come home to my children. I started watching people work this business and the business opportunity.
Message received. Corporate job, bad. 2% raises, bad. MLM, good. Now, what you're not told is that most people don't even make it to the first rank. You're also not told about what people are spending versus what they are earning. It's made to sound very easy. Just share your life. Just share what you love, and the rest will follow. There'll be this pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
When I was in probably the darkest time of my life, I was raised in a, middle-class family where the mentality was you either make a lot of money and you hate your job, or you love your job and you make no money. It was either or. There was no in between. So when I first came across this opportunity to paint that picture for you, I was extremely skeptical. I was the kind of girl who 100% thought everything was too good to be true if it seemed that way. And I had everything at an arm's length. And because of the anxiety and depression that my debt caused my husband and I was just a negative person. Anybody I saw on social media who was super happy and loving their life, I automatically thought, oh, they must be doing something shady. So when I first stumbled across this opportunity, if there's any skeptics on the call, I am possibly the most skeptical person you will ever meet. I was the type of person who, I was always looking for what was that job that was going to answer. I worked at NBC. I actually went to school for broadcast journalism, so I wanted to be a journalist. When I realized that wasn't for me, I went on a national tour as an actress/singer. That failed. I then was a bartender while my husband was unemployed in New York City. And then it got so bad to the point where I had to start using my degree, and I got a corporate America job in medical marketing as the director of operations in New York City. So I've had just about every single kind of job that you can imagine. And I was always that person searching for, okay, there's got to be something that answers all the questions, that makes me the money and solves this debt problem, but also makes me happy. It didn't matter how hard I worked compared to the person next to me or how many extra hours I put in. I always made what they told me I could make. When I first started this business, I was scrolling, looking all over for, what was going to answer that question. We were a new military family living on a single family military income because we got stationed 3,000 miles away from anyone or anything we ever knew on a remote military base in the middle of California. So not LA, not San Diego, no place fun. And I stumbled across my coach on social media, and she was posting all about, I'm going to work out at home and help people, and it's amazing, and I've changed my life. And I first thought, okay, scam. Anybody who falls for that is totally silly. Every time I kind of had a bad day, I would wake up at 4 a.m., go into work, get home at 11 p.m. I never saw my husband because he was working 16-hour shifts in the military. He was in missiles, so he would work 3 16-hour shifts.
and then be off for 2 days, which he basically slept. So we were these newlyweds, like ships passing in the night. And I finally got to this breaking point one night where I was like, this cannot be the rest of my life. There has to be something more. And I reached out to her. I'm like, okay, what's the worst thing that can happen? If she's a robot, then she's a robot. But she answered me, and she is now one of my very best friends. She's on this call, and we work this business together all the time. I am proud to say that we are completely out of debt. My husband is retired from the military. And we have moved across country and live in our dream house, and this is our full-time opportunity.
I find that whole shady comment really telling, because the thing is, when you join a multi-level marketing company and you start, doing your thing on social media, it's like it's a pseudo life. It's like you change. Your personality changes, the life you present changes, everything changes because you're trying to attract people to you. And the fact that she was hired as the director of marketing, doesn't that give you a clue that girlfriend learned a thing or two or knew a thing or two about marketing long before she ever joined Beachbody? She talks about working the business. They all do, but she doesn't mention that what she really is an independent contractor. She's not an actual business owner. All of those ideas about it being your business and you're an entrepreneur, that really comes from the company. And again, that's why I say all of these Huns, no matter where they are in it, at the very bottom or at the very top, they've all been transformed because of the fairy tale that multi-level marketing tells. And she makes it sound like that, when you work a regular job, it's just so many hours, but somehow when you work MLM, it's not going to be that way. Let me tell you, I've never worked harder than when I joined multi-level marketing, and I was up before 5 a.m. so I could be all ready to do my workout and record that and all that whatnot. And I would be up past 11 at night, still working my business and having no results. It's not the same if you are getting an hourly wage or if you're getting a salary and you made the deal that I'll put in this amount of time and you will pay me this much. In multi-level marketing, you spend hours upon hours upon hours working the business, getting nothing in return. Do you see how they use this desire for freedom? And people want that, right? And there's always this disdain for like a regular job. Like it is just so awful. And I got it, job bad, MLM good.
After avoiding like the plague, so there I was living in Albuquerque, New Mexico, actually. I was a stay-at-home mom. My husband had his dream job, and I was living out just everything I wanted, home with my kids, but I couldn't lose the weight. I was lonely. I was disconnected, and I needed something more. And after avoiding it like the plague, honestly, I decided to give Beachbody a try. It was an acquaintance from high school who was talking about a 25-minute home fitness program, and I was just like, you know what, I could actually do this while Evangeline's in her swing. I could just do it in my living room, even though it probably won't work because I used to work out for hours at the gym every single day. I might as well just do it. So I ended up falling madly in love with the results that I was getting from drinking a health shake that tasted like dessert and 25-minute home workouts, not to mention the connection from the challenge groups that we had online. So I was all in for becoming a coach. And I didn't really even care about or understand the compensation part of it. Is I was just like, I want to be in the pictures that I'm seeing with these other coaches where they're friends. And then they're like getting pregnant together and their kids know each other. And I want to be a part of that community so badly. And I want to break out of my shell of just being quiet and not really knowing many people or being afraid to speak up when I'm passionate about something. And so coaching gave me all of that. And it helped me break out of like this introvert, anxious shell that I lived in my whole entire life. And for the first time ever, I was recognized and I was being celebrated and I was building a community and I was actually connecting with tons and tons and tons of people near and far And now, 5.5 years into the business, I've been able to make a career out of something that filled me up so much.
Do you see how the desire to be part of a community continues to be echoed from person to person? This really speaks to someone who does not have a big circle of friends. I know when I joined Beachbody, there I was. I had just gone through cancer. I'd just been laid off. We had to move, and everybody that I knew, it's just like, it spoke to me. That desire for community is something overall that just speaks to humans. Now, the fact that she did not understand the compensation plan is alarming. And quite frankly, most people who do join, I know I knew nothing about it when I joined. And I think most of the people that I was friends with while I was working the business, they weren't really sure of any of that either when they started. But then she also talks about being recognized, that she's feeling this recognition from, all these people. Recognition is one of the 4 vital behaviors of Beachbody. And as humans, we crave that. We want to be praised. And that is one of the things that Beachbody will do. In addition to when you just start out, you get love bombed on. But whenever you do something that is, I'm just going to say approved, because you are rank advancing, you're making Success Club, you're doing things where you're just kind of like, you're having success, what's perceived to be success, and then you want that more. So it's kind of like an addiction to a drug, and you are willing to keep going because you want to feel it again.
There are 2 different types of coaches. So there is what we call the affiliate coach, and then there's like the business building coach. So you heard all of our stories. We are business building coaches. Like, I started this business to freaking make an income that was going to change my family's life. But then there's also this amazing, what we call the affiliate program. So, when we hop to this call and everyone's like, oh, Lindsay, I love your shirt. Oh, Nicolette, I love your shirt. And Lindsay's like, oh, it's from Grateful Heart & Co. Let me send you a discount code. And you're like, awesome. Lindsay sent you a discount code. It's an affiliate code. Lindsay then makes commission off of it, right? She makes a percentage of that purchase. You guys, we offer the exact same thing with coaching.
I did find an FAQ that does talk about Beachbody affiliate. This is language that is new to 2020. It's not the same as someone who's really, an affiliate marketer. It's not the same. This really is going to be more of a discount coach than, a coach who's a business builder, because typically there are the business builders and there's discount coaches or hobby coaches. What they're trying to make it sound like is as if you are an affiliate marketer. And again, Monica did a great job of that. If you're an affiliate marketer, you're making a deal with someone to, maybe you're being paid a one-time fee. It all depends. Monica explains it and all of that. But you yourself, you're not paying to join. You pay to join Beachbody. I don't care which way you slice that banana. You are paying to play.
So I think everyone gets so in their head with like, oh, if I'm a Beachbody coach and I work for an MLM. No, legit, if you do your workouts, I am obsessed with my Energize. I drink it every day, and I would drink it every day whether or not I was a coach or not. It keeps me going with 2 young kids at home, and I drink my shake every morning. I shared my son drinking his shake. I naturally share the products that we sell in my life because I legitimately, people see them, they see what they do for me, they see my results, and they ask, hey, what are you doing? Hey, what is that you're drinking that's allowing you to be up and have energy when you have all these children who are always teasing and that you haven't slept in 4 years? I'm like, oh, it's my Energize. Let me send you a link.
Legit, if it was that simple that everybody just starts asking what you're drinking, I would have still been a Beachbody coach. If it was actually easy like that, if anybody actually asked. The thing is, that doesn't really happen. Maybe it does for a few, but overall, in general, it doesn't.
And then I make commission. That is our job. So even if you're like, listen, I just want to kind of tiptoe into this, Maybe you tried Shakeology, you tried Energize, you're doing the workouts, you love them, and you're like, listen, let me just get that covered. Let me just get my products covered. This is a really easy way to do it. So you would just start as what we call like an affiliate coach. You're just going to share. When people ask, hey, what are you doing? You have a personal link. You send it to them. You're like, oh, here, check this out. They buy. You earn commission off those products. Very simple, very easy. I mean, we live in an affiliate world right now. Instagram, influencers, swipe up. Here's my link. Here's my discount code. It's the norm now. And so I think you have to, a lot of people who think about coaching get all wrapped up and I'm a coach and I work for this big MLM. And no, you're an affiliate. You're just like those influencers on Instagram who say, hey, here's my code.
No, you're not just like the influencers on Instagram with swipe up. Here's my code. You're not that at all. Not even close, because you're still buying Shakeology every month or Energize. You're doing something to keep your volume up so you can keep getting your discount. The only way you can continue getting that discount is if you pay to play. That's it.
And then, of course, the second way I mentioned is business builders. So, my team is, I came in to like freaking build a top business, and that has been my goal, and that is what like my mom did really, really push for. And so that business model looks very similar. We may just be putting more time into our business. But the base of this business, whether you're a business builder or an affiliate, is sharing your journey. That's it.
What is going to be expected of me? What am I going to do in terms of social media? So basically, another way of saying network marketing is you're being a social influencer, right? Except you've got a great compensation plan and an e-commerce infrastructure already built in for you, rather than if you were trying to like be an independent blogger and reach out to other brands and negotiate eligibility and payment and things like that for you to represent a product that you may or may not be super passionate about. What we do is all completely streamlined with everything set up for you. And now sometimes network marketing might have a bad rep because a lot of people go about it the wrong way. Lindsay, if you want to share those slides real quick.
The thing is, multi-level marketing does not give you this freedom that they're trying to make you think that it does. You are tied down to everything. You can't make any changes on the price structure if you wanted to. If you wanted to run a flash sale, guess what? You can't. You are bound to what their done for you kind of business is set out to do. So they're kind of like bashing e-commerce and just basically bashing anything unless it's multi-level marketing. In their eyes, the only thing that anybody should really be doing is multi-level marketing, because everything else is just second to it or third or 10th. You know what I'm saying? If we want there to be change in the world, I really think it's up to us to start sharing our stories, get the word out, and talk about these things, because people who are in multi-level marketing, like all these Huns that you've been watching, they've been doing it for a while, and all of these people are relatively successful, meaning they've built teams, they have money coming in, they're seeing something from it. They're probably not getting as much out of it as they want you to think, because in general, when you join multi-level marketing, you're always trying to put forth an idea of a lifestyle that you haven't quite attained, but you want everybody else to think that you're living that lifestyle. And remember, change starts now.